but it makes you sad. I wanna see, I wanna see, I wanna see your smile again. I wanna love your red eyes, but it makes you sad. I wanna see, I wanna see, I wanna see your smile again.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Had a pretty dope weekend, very chill. Kind of basically stayed in the whole weekend. Oh, wait, hold on. Our lights aren't on. There we go. Much better. All right. Yeah, pretty dope weekend. Super chill. Kind of stayed in all weekend. Got working on some new music. I have most of my work, my release schedule, kind of sorted out through June. So right now I'm just writing a bunch of new stuff, which is pretty dope. Working with a lot of new vocalists, which is cool. Actually, I gotta swap out one of these releases real quick because we have something new coming to the label in 2 weeks. Let me just swap this out real quick. But yeah, it's been a good it was a good weekend. Oh man, they came in super big, and that's literally the wrong one. All right, let's try that again. There we go. I don't know why that came in so big. That's what she said. Actually, I can move this at the end over here. Do I have a Discord server? I sure do. But if you're gonna submit music, don't do it on Discord. Do it on Google Forms. By all means, if you guys want to join the Discord server, you guys can join. But if you guys are gonna submit music for feedback, there is a Google form right there. Let me just rearrange this stuff real quick. This guy goes over here. This guy goes over here. Over here. Sick. All right. So yes, you did an hour or two ago. I found you on Electro Steps Discord server. Yeah. So yeah, you should be in the queue. You should be all good. Yo, what's up, Eric? Young Shapeshifter. Here's our tunes right here. If you haven't yet, go check these out. Hype One, that's on my level. Thick Freakness with the man's Hot Fire and Dread MC. Dance with the Devil, it's a free download on SoundCloud. Hollow Freaks, that's our Halloween compilation. Came out in October. Coldest, that's with the man's Spacewalk and Dread MC. Who's Ready with the man's Eric Mark. In the Mood on Space Yacht. Our first release of the year, which just came out on Friday. That's from me, Bubblegum. And lastly, actually, I don't have a little tag for this one, but I just announced this today. We have a single coming out from the man's Foxed on Thick Freakness. Gonna do. That'll be out on January 24th. So yeah, I'm kind of aiming towards doing a release every 2 weeks on the label. So far, so good. We got all of January, February locked in. Working on March, April through the rest of Q2. But yeah, go check out these tunes. Shows for right now, I don't have anything on the books to announce just yet. But pay attention to the label socials. We'll be making potentially 2 announcements this week. Yeah, just keep an eye out. Go follow myself and the label. Here's all the socials right there. Go give some follows. And lastly, our sponsor, Eargasm. If you guys need earplugs, definitely go cop some. I think they're about like retail are like $30 or something, but then you get like 10% off if you use my code Phantom10. Definitely worth it. I still haven't lost mine, surprisingly. I lose everything. Actually, no, I just use USBs, which is why I have like 10 backups. No, more like 4 backups, but I have a lot of fucking backups. But yeah, I haven't lost my eargasms. They come in a neat little carrying case. They're always on my keys, and they are super dope. Always have them for shows, and my hearing has not fucked up at all, which is great. All right, enough talking out of me. Let's start loading up this queue. First, we got Daniel Stoica. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Daniel Stoica. Daniel Stoica, are you here in the chat? If not, I'm going to throw you in the back. Up after that, we have Dance Party Time Machine. I saw young Scott in the chat. You'll be second, or I guess first if Daniel Stoica isn't here. All right, just loading up tunes here. If you see your tune pop up, oh, Criminal Agent, your link is broken. FYI. So if you are in the chat, you can resubmit. No problem. We got Kroom here. We got... Oh, sorry, Will. Oh, what's up, Will? We have not met. Not in person, at least. Scott definitely talks about you, though. Sorry, I'm just loading up all these tunes here. Lots of stuff. Vox D, your link is broken. Please resubmit. We'll get you in. Vox D, your link is broken. Peachy Keen, we got your link. Cool. This works. All right, we're powering through here. We got lots of submissions today, surprisingly. Maybe not surprisingly. We've seen like an uptick recently of a lot of submissions, so I mean that's definitely a good thing. All right, and then lastly here we got the man Shapeshifter. Okay, Daniel Stoica, are you here? Yeah, just so everybody knows, people who are in the chat will get priority. So if you're not in the chat, I'm gonna throw your track to the end of the line. If you manage to show up, then we'll get back to your tune. If you guys, you know, for whatever reason you want to leave early or something, you guys can jump the line. You can either do that with your channel points, or you can submit some monies at the links below: Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Usually it's only like about $5, or if you want to send more, that's up to you. Entirely up to you, your choice. But that's there if you guys want to do that. But yeah, people who are in the chat will get prioritized. So Daniel Stoica, doesn't look like Daniel Stoica is here. So he's going to the back of the line. We got Dance Party Time Machine. Let's do it. Nice one, bruv. Yeah, dude, the chat is really loving this one. Um, yeah, Vox Day and Criminal Agent. Since your links were broken, just resubmit in the Google form. We should be able to get those. Um, Chat says this fucking bops. Damn, this hits hard. This is great. Quality is amazing. Love the little psytrance basses. Really solid drop here. Shit's dope. Sick. Thick bass. Yeah, man, this was fucking dope. Just go directly to my notes here. Love the intro. Really nice drums, really nice groove, very nice energy in the build. Really cool sound selection. Really nice sound design. Really solid arrangement. I love that the whole drop definitely kind of has like this build up in energy, and there's like all these layers and stuff that kind of go into it. Really cool ear candy stuff. I think the phrasing is very nice. Um, Definitely keep things interesting, so it's really easy to kind of like follow along, kind of like groove along. Um, really sick vocal. Um, and really, my only piece of feedback, I'm gonna get into it real quick, but I feel like the vocal was the only part where I wanted to hear more, and the reality is, I want that. I would have loved to hear that vocal sooner in the track, in the intro and the first break build, because it feels like it's like essentially the hook. You know, it's like kind of like the main idea. So I think it should play more of a bigger role. It kind of only pops out in the second break, this more longer drawn out break. So I feel like having that vocal in the first break, even if it's kind of more like a smaller phrase or something, um, I think would be the move, because we're not really getting too much of a hook in the intro. And initially, when I was listening to it, I was like, "Oh man, there's like no, there's nothing hooky here to kind of really draw you in, except for like the actual drop. There's a lot of hooks within the bass line and the ear candy and all the sound selection and stuff, but that vocal hook was what I was like really itching for, and I really didn't get it until the second break. So yeah, I would take that vocal and then also use it in the first break. Kind of just introduce it a little bit sooner. That's really the only piece of feedback that I have. Everything else sounds great. Really clean mix. Really dope fake drop on that second drop over there. And overall, just really, really solid tune. Really nice groove. Super dope sound selection and sound design. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then if you guys end up updating this, send it back to me. Maybe we can get it on a compilation on Thick Freakness if that's what you guys want to do, or if you guys want to send it to somewhere else, it's not a big deal. Yeah, really dope tune though. Hell yeah. All right. Not much to say. That's right. All right. Let's keep moving here. Let me double check and make sure that these your guys' resubmissions worked. Big tune. Box Day, your link works. Criminal Agent. Ba, 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 ba. Your link works. Bingo. That's a bingo. Pee pee poo poo from Micah. Pee pee poo poo. Big dick. Dig Bick. Do we got Misguided in the chat? Misguided always sends in some fucking wild shit, dude. Misguided. We got Misguided in the chat. Thanks, dude. Takes one to know one. Okay, I don't think Misguided is here. He probably would have said something by now. So we're gonna throw him in the back of the line over here. Sorry about that. Kind of fucked that up. Daniel Stoica's not here either. All right, Drewdo. I know Drewdo's here. Just say what's up, Drewdo. All right. I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm seeing a lot of anime pictures in your guys' submissions. I saw a couple of them. Or maybe, yeah, two. 3. Maybe just 3. The cover activates my neurons. All right, let's do it. Let's listen.
No more tears and no more cries. I'm embracing all the lies. No more, no more. I'm stepping into the light, spreading my wings wide and wide. No more, no more. No more tears and no more cries. I'm embracing all the lies. No more, no more. I'm stepping into the light, spreading my wings wide and wide. No more.
OTT, OTT, OTT. Yeah, man, that's this song fucks, dude. Nasty, this is pretty cool. Tune, gross. Following you right now. Holy fuck. That kick fucks. Tune. Much love, everyone. I was not disappointed. Trop is nice though. Yeah, dude, that was a fucking fatty of a tune. Um love the arpeggio. I love most of the sound selection here. Everything works really, really well together. Very cohesively. Really nice sidechain on that bass, and that's that's exactly what you want from this kind of mid-tempo style. You're getting a lot of that groove just mostly from that sidechain. You can sure change the song that you submitted. Absolutely, go for it. I'll just swap out whatever you submit as a second tune. So wait, which synth are you talking about in particular, Tim? Beauty beep 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 beauty beep beauty beauty beep 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 beauty beep. Is it the arpeggio or is it the other synth? I guess maybe there's a little bit too much highs on that. Maybe you can just tame that a little bit. And that's probably just me being picky. But I really do love the sound of that. It's very nice. It's very appropriate to this tune. Um, again, I love the sidechain on the mid bass. Very appropriate to this style. Gives it a really nice groove. Really cool vocal. I think it also fits very well with this style and this tune. The drop is very fat. Loving the sound design and the sound selection overall. I think the arrangement's super solid. It's really easy to kind of follow. And you're actually getting, some layering, some variation, some change up, and it kind of evolves over the entirety of the arrangement. Really nice energy in the builds. I think the mix is very clean as well. Yeah, overall just a really fucking solid tune. I think really if I had to be picky, I would agree that the ARP maybe just needs a little bit of tightening up on the top end. Maybe just toning it down a touch. But other than that, this is a fucking banging tune. I think it's pretty much ready to, ship out. Whether you ship it out to labels or you get it ready for self-release. I think it's basically there, man. Very well done, Drudu. Super dope tune. Hell yeah. W for sure. All right. We got the man's Desmoda. I just saw Desmoda in the chat earlier. Just say what's up. Or yo. Or hello. What up? All right, let's do it. Or yo. You don't have to take me literally. Nice one, bruv. Definitely feels. I mean, you named it trance. It definitely kind of puts you like into a trance like state. It's very like very calming, very groovy for sure. Smooth claptone vibes. Yeah, hugs. Just FYI, I don't react to tunes. I listen and give feedback to work in progress, unreleased music. Sounds like the sidechain between the kick and the bass could be better, in my opinion. By better, do you what do you mean exactly? Are you saying that he should have a more aggressive sidechain? Um, to me, it sounds all right. I'm not hearing any kind of overlap between the kick and the bass per se. Um, sometimes when you have like a really aggressive sidechain, you get more of like that kind of pump effect, which is really really nice. I mean, but sometimes it's more of like a more audible thing or more of like a sensory thing, where you're feeling it as opposed to like actually hearing it. But that's entirely. I think it's more of a artistic choice. I think as far as mix wise, I think it sounds great. If you do want to put a more aggressive sidechain, you probably play around with it. It would probably make the track pump a little bit more, make it a little bit more. Yeah, I think pump is probably the best word for that. Give it that pump, but I don't know if it necessarily needs it, to be honest. But you can always play around with it. um, Really nice drums, really solid groove. I'm loving those little clap accents with the reverb. Um, Really nice pre-drop and drop. You got the little vocal in there. It's very subtle, but nice. Yeah. Very dope vocal. I think it definitely fits the vibe. It's not really like a hook or anything by any means. I guess it kind of is, but it's not really like something that particularly kind of stands out because this track is basically mostly drums and bass line, and it's mostly groove really, and then you got a bunch of other layers on top that kind of like go in and out, kind of add on to the evolution of the entire arrangement. I was gonna say really nice use of silence and space and filtering, because it's like the reality is this is a very minimal track. I mean, there's not a whole lot of elements, but what you do really well is you do a lot of modulation, which kind of changes sounds over the course of the entire arrangement. Also, you do some really nice layering, so there is some variation. It's very subtle, and it kind of forces you to kind of like sit down and actually like feel it out. This is the kind of music I would probably hear. I think I've mentioned this before. It sounds like something I would hear at a desert rave, or like a forest rave even. Something more like kind of natural in nature. I think this would definitely kind of pop off in that kind of environment. Yeah, the arrangement's super solid, really clean mix, really solid sound design. I think the only thing, if I'm gonna be like really picky about this tune, I think the second drop does kind of drag on. Say after it is repetitive for sure. It is repetitive, but there is some very nice, variation with, like I said, like modulation and stuff. But with that being said, I think the second drop does get a little bit kind of repetitive, especially after the third 8 bars. That looks right. That sounds right. After the 30 bars, it kind of just feels like it just kind of just looping a little bit. I think you could probably trim the fat a little bit, and I think it'll kind of flow a little bit quicker and more seamless. But that's really the only piece of feedback that I have. Everything else here sounds great. Yeah, really well done, Desmoda. Super solid tune. Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, no problem. All right, let's keep it going here. Do we have Ian Christopher? Ian Christopher. Oh, yeah, I got some more submissions here. Let me load these up. Hunter Chrysler. Hunter Chris. Yeah, Hunter Chrysler. Mary Chrysler. Okay, Ian. Oh, excuse me. Me and Christopher, are you here in the chat? Ian Christopher going once. Going twice. All right, he's not here. Going to the back of the line. Do we got Kroom in the chat? Kroom. Some drum and bass. Kroom going once. Kroom going twice. All right. Kroom going back of the line. Meowsenberg. The man's Meowsenberg. Meowsenberg sends in fire too, man. Hopefully he's here though. Meowsenberg going once. Going twice. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like this line might go by really quickly. So if you guys just like hang tight, you might get your track bumped up pretty quickly. Zodra. We got Zodra in the chat. Zodra. With some 140. Zodra's here. Zodra, remind me again, were you the one that had only been producing for like a couple weeks? Young Micah with the gift subs. Zodra. Okay, I'm expecting some fucking fire again. But let's not set the expectation high. Let's just keep our expectations low and see if this is actually fire. Does anybody ever post some metal up in here? I think I might have had some metal once before, but it's not very common. But you know, I listen to everything, so if you have some metal, you're more than happy to send it in, as long as it's unreleased. As long as it's unreleased music, more than happy if you send that in. All right, Zodra, let's give this a listen.
I like it when you dance, dance. I like it when you dance, dance.
Smoke up, that's in the blem. Free up the guys in, dip out the ends. Jump in the ride, then burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't clutch the boy on my end. Now he's on the block with the yacht for events. Skin kept close, but you putting on them with the tits on 10. Back in the back, this on tap.
I like it when you
Smoke up, that's in the blem. Free up the guys, then dip out the ends. Jump in the ride, then burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't clutch the boy on my end. Now he's on the block with the yacht for events. Skin kept close, but you putting on them with the tits on 10. Back in the back, this on tap. All ready to go and jump in. Smoke up, that's in the blem. Free up the guys, then dip out the ends. Jump in the ride, then burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't clutch the boy on my end. Now he's on the block with the yacht for events. Skin kept close, but you putting on them with the tits on 10. Back in the back, this on tap. Smoke up, that's in the blem. Free up the guys, then dip out the ends. Jump in the ride, then burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't clutch the boy on my end. Now he's on the block with the yacht for events. Skin kept close, but you plotting on them with the tits on 10. Back in the back, this on tap. Ready to go and jump in.
Nice. So yeah, this is the same tune as last week. Last week it was fucking sick. I do notice that you kind of filled it out a little bit more, which is dope. I do agree. It looks like you agree as well. I think the main thing for me is that the buildups need more energy. That transition going from
I like it when you.
I feel like it just needs some more energy to kind of lead into that. Both the first and the second drop. Young Micah with the cheers. Hell yeah, brother. It's a really sick song though. Really dope tune. I think I mentioned it last week. Really cool vocals. Really nice sound selection. Really love the sound design. The phrasing is great. Both drops are really sick. Part of me would have liked to hear at least like a portion of this vocal a little bit sooner, potentially.
Jump in the ride and burn up the rims.
Yeah, I feel like you could probably pull out a phrase in there and use it as a hook, probably sooner in the arrangement. But yeah, primarily the main thing, and it's something that the whole chat agrees too, is that I feel like both builds need some more energy into them. Some transitional elements, something to kind of build up the energy, and so that when it gets into the drop, it smacks even harder. The drops are actually perfect. I wouldn't change anything about the drops. I think it's just the build-ups that just need a little bit of finessing and a little bit of work. But overall, it's a really fucking banging tune. Really dope tune. I don't think you need to overcook it. You don't need to overthink it. It's really just some minor transitional stuff in the build-ups, and I think you're good. Good job, Zodra. Super dope tune. All right, Peachy Keen. Do we got Peachy Keen in the chat? She messaged me earlier saying that she might not be here. Peachy Keen. Peachy Keen. Could use more cowbell. I got a fever. All right, Peachy Keen is not here. I'm going to put her in the back of the line. If she pops up, then we'll do her tune. If not, I will just do it offline. All right, do we got Skill Kill? Skill Kill with some hip hop and rap. It looks like this one's already released though. So unfortunately, I am not going to listen to this one. That puts Tim at the very front of the line. All right. I'm just going to name people up so everybody knows where they're at. We got Keysman, Shapeshifter, Vox Day, Criminal Agent, Micah, Chrysler, and then I think the rest of these guys aren't here. But in case they show up, we got Misguided, Daniel Stoica, Ian Christopher, Kroom, Meowsenberg, and Peachy Keen, in case they show up. All right. Let's give this one a listen.
a loss. Watch your mouth finna when you talk. Get the moving forward. Going hard, I be on the job. I can't take a loss. Watch your mouth finna when you talk. Get the moving forward, going hard, I be on the job. Moving forward, going hard, I be on the job. Moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, going hard.
Nice one, bruv. All right. Micah said nice. Oxday said insane. Ugh, nice drop. Sick as fuck. Wowzers. Just shot myself to that drop. Check yourself. What? Yeah, dude. Dope tune. Yeah, digging the intro. Really cool sound selection. Really loving the Reese as well as that little ARP. Boom, 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 boom. I think the ARP needs a little bit more reverb to it. It just sounds a little bit too dry to me. I really like the melody though. It's really nice. Really dope vocal. Actually, there was one thing I wanted to listen to real quick. Let me just mute myself.
Going hard, I be on the job. I can't take a loss. Moving forward. Going hard, I be on the job. I can't take a loss.
Yeah, there's some like weird sizzle right there. I don't think it's coming from the vocal. It's probably just some secondary effect or transition element. OTT sizzle. Yeah, it's a bit that sizzle is just a touch too harsh, I think. And I think it only happens there. It's intended. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a cool effect, but I think it just needs to be kind of tamed a little bit. It's a touch harsh. The vocal's dope though. I really like the vocal. It definitely kind of fits the vibe here. Definitely gives me like Mala 2014 kind of vibes. 2014? That sounds right. That feels right. But the vocal's dope. It has some really nice reverb, really cool delays on it. Kind of adds to like the space, especially in those break sections. Kind of gives you a lot of like really spaciness. It has some really nice processing on it. I love that the kick is like huge, but to me it's a little bit too thumpy, I guess is the best word for it. Mala reference, yes. Haha. I think it needs a little bit more punch, and I think also the side chain needs to be a little bit more aggressive because I'm getting a little bit of overlap between your sub and your kick. So I think it needs to be a touch more aggressive. So dude, the old confession is always fucking fire. I still, I haven't played too much of that stuff recently. I might have to like go back into my my library and kind of dig up some of that older stuff. But yeah, dude, it fucking bangs. It would be cool if the vocal made a little bit more of a reappearance in the drop, even if it's just in a minimal aspect, either in the turnarounds or maybe like little vocal chops here and there, just to kind of give you like a little bit more, just kind of like scratch that itch of like, because it's basically the hook in the breakdown, and then we don't really get another taste of that vocal until you get to the second breakdown. So I think having like little chops here and there in the drop would be dope. I love that the drops are longer, and this is feedback that I kept giving Eros, because he would always send me tunes and it would only be like a 16 bar drop, and I'm like, dude, just like make your drop just a little bit longer. And I'm glad that you made this. It looks like it's probably about 24 bars. So yeah, that's at least like the minimum of what I would like to see from a drop. Usually my own drops, I tend to make them 32, but 24 is actually like very solid too. I just think 16 bars is just way too short for a drop for me. That's my opinion. It's too quick. Too quick. What else did I say here? Yeah, the vocal needs to make a bit of a reappearance. And I feel like there's space in your drops for a little bit more top end, some sort of melodic element. I think that your little arpeggio, that arpeggio melody can probably make a reappearance, if not with the same sound, with a different sound. Because it feels like there's a lot of space on the top end of the drops. You have like these other kind of like atmospheric elements in the background, but they're kind of dug beneath the mix. So they definitely feel like more background elements, but we need kind of more of like a lead. I mean, obviously you're leading with your bass, but having like a secondary lead that's kind of on the top, because all this like top end is kind of like empty a little bit. Hold on, I'm trying to play. So yeah, there's definitely space up there to play around with. So I feel like the arpeggio melody would work, even if it's not the same sound. You can probably get away with putting that in there somewhere in some capacity. I think that would work well. Yeah, and this is a really solid arrangement. I have no issues with the arrangement. I think it's fine exactly as it is. I love the respace in that second break, and overall it's just a really dope, very solid tune. I think the bass line definitely drives everything here. We just need a little bit more vocal use and a little bit more of a top line melody in the drops. I think that's really all this tune is missing. Very well done. Really digging this tune. Dude, I'm a sucker for respaces too, man. Fucking love me a respace. Boo, 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 boo. All right. Up next, we got the man Shapeshifter. Shapeshifter here. I'm actually going to go pee real quick, but Shapeshifter, are you here? Just say what's up in the chat. Boy. Old man noises. Yes, sir. Versace shades all day. Nice one, bruv. Big vibe. Big tune. This one's super new and still needs to be fleshed out a bit. Definitely more on the trance side than usual. Absolutely. Definitely hear the trance vibe. Solid vibe. Melody goes crazy. Has some old trance vibes. Big vibe. Yeah, dude. Super dope. That's definitely what I wrote here. When the tune first started, I put really nice progressive house vibes, and then almost feels like borderline trance is what I wrote exactly. What's up, Peach Keen? Really nice piano. I think it definitely lends itself to that trancey vibe. This is the first time I've actually heard some like kind of like trancey kind of stuff from you, young Eric. Normally it's a lot of like progressive house, but this is like definitely leaning more towards trance. Can you refresh my tune? Of course I can. Absolutely. Peachy Keen, I threw you to the back of the line, but since you're here, we can put you back in line. Time zone got you good. Yeah, Arizona to California. I think it's like a 1 hour difference. But yeah. Let's continue here. I was gonna say I think the tempo can kind of be pushed up a little bit on this tune. I think we could probably push it up. What's it at right now? I think it could probably push it up like 2 to 3 BPM. If I'm being honest, maybe even more, potentially. It's at 128 right now. Yeah, I think it just drags just ever so slightly. I think at 130 would be good at the bottom end. You could probably bump it up as far as like 35, 135. I don't know, just like play around with it. 160 BPM, 210. You guys are fucking wild, man. But either way, I think the tempo needs to be pushed up a little bit because it does kind of drag a little bit. I think the low end needs a little bit of cleanup. I think the sub definitely bangs, definitely hits. So does the kick, but I think it's probably more of an issue of side chaining. Okay. Oh, there's a commercial. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Okay, and then Vox D said to refresh his tune as well. Refreshed. Refresh. Boo, 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 boo. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I got distracted. GG, I just got an ad for a horror series. Dude, I love me some fucking horror. Not to be mistaken for horror. But yes, as I was saying before, I think the low end needs a bit of cleanup. Both the sub and the kick bang fucking independently, but I do feel like we're getting a little bit of overlap. So maybe it's just a sidechain thing. I think maybe just a sidechain needs to be a little bit more aggressive. Both are scary. At first, I was gonna say I wrote this like during the kind of intro first drop section. I wrote could definitely use a vocal, and then like as I was writing that, the vocal came in, so it kind of defeats that whole comment. Maybe the vocal can just like come in a little bit sooner. Maybe even like just like in a small capacity where you're filtering it in, using like little phrases and stuff. I think that would be dope. Kind of put it in this like intro section a little bit. Yeah, tease that vocal in. I do think there's a little bit of harshness though on both the hats and the vocal. I think on the top end there's a little bit of harshness there. Maybe that could be tamed up a little bit. Yeah. Really cool ear candy. I'm loving a lot of the sound selection. Everything really works really well. And I like the arrangement overall, especially in this kind of drop section over here. Because like you do a good job of like adding in variation and like kind of switching out sounds, replacing stuff so that it keeps moving forward. There's a lot of like really nice momentum. So yeah, definitely keeping the momentum moving forward. I think you did a really good job of that. Really nice filtering here towards the end of this like drop section. And then do this like really kind of like just like drop out. I think it would be cool to have like a sub drop there, kind of like dramatic boo. Just like some nice transitional elements. I think kind of like nice transitional elements overall would just be a good move. The second drop should have a bigger variation. I didn't particularly notice. It didn't. What I'm getting at is it didn't feel like it was copy pasta. I definitely felt like some sort of change up there, but maybe it was just like very subtle, you know. I don't think there's a really big issue with that. You know, you can always get weirder on a second drop, but I think as of right now, it's definitely okay. Yeah, really nice filtering at the end of that drop there. Really nice reverb and delay on the vocal. Definitely adds to that space. Definitely lets it play around with all that space in there. I liked it. I almost wanted to hear the melody go higher to add more motion. Just a thought. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, that would be dope. I think my other thing is this blast kind of pre-drop. I think it needs to be finessed a little bit better. Maybe a longer pause and kind of like a fake drop over here. So yeah, that feels kind of abrupt. I feel like you could probably drag out that pre-drop a little bit longer, add in a little bit of silence, and then maybe just like tease in a synth. Something like that. You know what I mean? Know what I'm talking about? Some kind of like trancey synth where it's just a standalone synth. Kind of like a fake drop, and then kind of like you can dive into the drop. But yeah, I think that whole kind of section there needs a little bit of finessing because it's very abrupt. It kind of just like just jumps right in. But yeah, really dope tune overall. Definitely haven't heard any sort of trancey stuff from you, so this is definitely like a divergence, but it's a really cool wave that you're riding over here. Yeah, definitely bump the tempo though. I think it needs to go faster. More speed. All right, dope tune, young Eric, young shapeshifter. All right, up next we got Peach Keen. Tune is Heartless. Let's give it a listen.
Don't know what you do, don't understand how, and I'm so into you, and I can't get out. Left me alone in the darkness while you're on that hide. You're colder than stone, yeah, you're heartless, and I don't know why.
on dancing, don't stop now. Keep on dancing, don't stop now. Don't stop now. Keep on dancing, don't stop now. Keep on dancing, don't stop now. Keep on dancing, don't stop now. Don't stop now. Don't know what you do. Don't understand how. And I'm so into you. And I can't get out. Left me alone in the darkness while you're on that high. You're colder than stone, yeah, you're heartless, and I don't know why. You're colder than stone, yeah, you're heartless, and I don't know why. Come alive for one night. Let your body lead your mind. Can't deny, 'cause it was written in the sky. Come alive for one night. Let your body lead your mind. Can't deny, 'cause it was written in the sky.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, that was a fucking drum and peach. Yeah, dude, this is fucking sick. Really cool tune. Really dope vocal. This is one of those instances where it's like a splice vocal actually comes in clutch. Because there's so many splice vocals that are just fucking cringe and like awful. And they're like overused too. I haven't heard this splice vocal before. So hopefully you end up nabbing it before it becomes popular and like overused and stuff. But yeah, you definitely have to dig deep for sure. For sure. But yeah, super dope tune. Really digging the drum and bass vibes here. Really speedy. Love the vocal. Really nice processing on it. Really nice respace. Really good job on the sound selection. I think everything's very, very appropriate. Everything plays around with each other really well. First piece of feedback. I think this first pre-drop needs a little bit more silence, so it adds more contrast going in from the build into the drop. I think he did a really good job on this second drop. There's definitely more kind of like a drastic change. So maybe just kind of implement sort of the same idea.
Won't stop, won't stop, won't stop, won't stop, won't stop, won't stop.
See, there's kind of like a difference. The first drop kind of just like rolls into it. And the second drop is like, pew, and then it like drops. So yeah, that's basically what I'm getting at. But that's the idea. Basically, it's just like pulling back a couple of the elements just so that you get a bit more contrast in it. And then that drop hits like smacks you in the face even harder. Really nice drop. Loving the sound design. Really, lots of really nice energy. Really cool fills. I really love the fills in this. Definitely adds a lot of like really nice variation and change up. It kind of makes you like jump around a little bit, which is really cool. Super solid arrangement. I think it definitely has this nice like evolution and change over time, so it doesn't get boring. Definitely keeps things interesting, keeps the momentum going. Really nice filtering on the vocal when we get into that second break. I think it definitely adds to the overall tone, kind of mood, and the energy. You know, the energy of the break. Kind of want to keep things a little bit more subdued before you jump back into that second build. Really love the change up on the second drop. We got some like different variation on the sound design, which is really cool. And then my other last piece of feedback is maybe this is just something you can kind of play around with. It might be cool to add on a notch filter do that in like you could just do that in like Ableton's auto filter. Do a notch filter on that arpeggio, and then add an LFO to kind of, make it wave back and forth. So basically just modulate your frequency, so it's just going back and forth, up and down. It'll add some like nice movement to not your filter. No, but it'll add some like nice movement if you modulate a notch filter using an LFO, and it'll kind of just like move around a little bit, make it a little bit wavy, and it'll definitely give it some nice movement and change and stuff. But yeah, just an idea. You can mess around with that. See if it works. Doesn't, no big deal. Just something to play around with. Mish Into the Night uses the same vocals. I was legit scratching my head trying to remember. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's, yeah, no problem. Happy to help. And yeah, I do this every week, so if you ever have anything you're kind of stuck on or need a second ear, feel free to submit stuff over. Yeah, every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Not I guess Arizona doesn't have their own, I guess it don't really have a time zone, huh? But it's just like because you guys don't do daylight savings. But you guys are like an hour ahead of us. Great track, Just My Head. Do be like that. We do not. Yeah, I know. Arizona's cool. It's a cool place. I have a lot of family in Arizona. All right, Dope Tune Peachy Keen. Thanks for sending it over. Up next, we got Vox Day, Criminal Agent, Micah, Chrysler. I don't know how to say that. Bona. And let me see if we got any other submissions. I'm just going to take a look at the Google form real quick. Oh, yeah, we got 2 more. Boner. Haha, Boner. Oops. All right, we got Bona. And then the man's Choli, of course. All right. So, do we got Vox Day? Vox Day, you still here? Just say what's up. I'm pretty sure you're still here. I saw you saying stuff earlier. Vox Day. Been chatting. All right. Let's keep things moving forward. Excuse me. Really nice reverb tail there. Yeah, Mjausenberg, you were in the line, but I had to throw you to the back, so let's put you back into the queue here. Back into the queue. Oh, fucking Christ, dude. I don't know why this thing's moving. I'm having issues here with my mouse. Okay, there you go. But yeah, dope tune, Vox Day. Really sick. Really nice vibes here. I'm loving the pad and the vocal. Pretty much most of the melodic elements are fucking fire. Really nice drums too. I think they definitely kind of all really add to this really kind of moody sort of vibe. I think my main piece of feedback here is with the 808. Number one, I think it's too loud. Number two, I think as far as the melody you're playing, the notes are too low in the register, so it starts to get a little bit rumbly. Yeah, and then almost to the point where when you're playing the notes that low, it almost feels like it's out of key. I don't presume that the actual notes are out of key. It's just that for whatever reason, when you play notes that low, they start to lose, that kind of crisp fidelity that you want to hear from that particular synth. So I think primarily, I think what needs to happen is that 808 sound needs to be swapped out for something else that kind of has that range. I don't think this 808 has the range to achieve what you're trying to achieve, because I can kind of hear what you want to do, but I think this particular sound doesn't have the range to do it. So I think you need to maybe find another 808 that kind of has a lower register, because with this sound in particular, when you get too low, it starts to get a little bit too distorted and too kind of dissonant, I guess is the best way to say it. A little bit dissonant. It's kind of bleeding over into other keys, other notes. So it sounds off key, even though I presume it's probably not out of key. I'm assuming you're playing the correct notes for the key of this track, but for this particular sound, it's starting to sound like it's out of key, only because of, I guess the VST or the soft synth that you're playing it in. I think the arrangement's super solid. I think everything kind of flows really well, and I love all the other kind of sounds. I think the main thing here is just the 808. I think the 808 just needs to be swapped out for another 808, essentially. I think that's really it. Everything else just sounds fucking great. It's a really dope tune. It's very vibey, very moody. Yeah. Really well done. Good job, Vox Day. Super dope tune. Do. All right. Up next, we got Criminal Agent. Harder and Faster. Criminal Agent Remix Whip. I'm here. All right, let's do it. Bo.
Let's go harder and faster. Are you sure you can last? You're gonna need to keep up. I'll keep the rhythm you match. Let's go harder and faster. Are you sure you can last? You're gonna need to keep up. I'll keep the rhythm you match. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go harder and faster. Are you sure you can last? You're gonna need to keep up. I'll keep the rhythm you match. Let's go harder and faster. Are you sure you can last? You're gonna need to keep up. I'll keep the rhythm you match. Let's go harder and faster. 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 Let's go harder and fast. Harder and fast. Harder and fast. Harder and fast. Harder and faster. Let's go. Let's go.
Damn, some fucking hardstyle. We don't normally get too much hardstyle or hardcore music in here, but yeah, it's always pretty cool to hear, you know, this genre. It's fucking wild, man. But yeah, I haven't heard the original of this tune, but this vocal's fucking sick. Really cool intro. I'm loving that original that synth that we kind of start off with. Yeah, loving that synth there. Really cool. I think it could use a little bit more reverb. Really sick vocal. I haven't heard the original, but I'm liking the processing on this vocal here. I was gonna note that the actual drum beat feels offbeat, both in the intro, the drop, and in the final drop. There's a little bit of a mismatch. It feels like it's just off by like one note, and it could just need to be pulled back, kind of just a little bit, just so that it feels like it's more in time. Because right now it feels like it's off time. It feels like your drum beat and your melodic elements are kind of just like slightly off. Like I'm trying to DJ, but like I'm off by like an entire quarter note or something, quarter note or like a full, you know, half note or something like that. But yeah, it's just slightly off grid. It just needs to be kind of matched up on beat. It's noticeable. I'll show you exactly where it's noticeable. Yeah, you can definitely feel it right there. It feels like that percussion loop is kind of dragging. And then definitely right actually right there, it's actually like right on grid. Maybe right there it gets a little bit off, but definitely in the second drop it's off. Yeah, definitely in the second drop it's offbeat, but in those particular sections, in this second break right here, and then in this section it's definitely off, and then in this last drop, the first part of this first drop is actually on beat, and then this last section right here is off beat. You do a lot of like really cool like kick fills and stuff, but I think it's probably where you kind of get off the mark with your beat. If you're, I don't know what you're producing in, but if you're producing in Ableton, it's really easy to keep on grid, as long as you're using your arrangement markers. There's arrangement markers you can use at the very top. Oh, Mixcraft. I've never heard of Mixcraft, but if it's like any other DAW, you can definitely use arrangement markers, and you can kind of keep your arrangement very kind of gridded out. 8 bars, 16 bars, 24, 32, you know. But yeah, if you have arrangement markers, definitely use them. It'll keep you kind of right on track. But yeah, that's the main thing, I think. Just it gets off beat, so that's just something to keep in mind. I feel like the kick in the first drop doesn't hit as hard as the second one. When that kick first came in, I was expecting it to be a little bit heavier, especially for hardstyle. So just something to consider. The first drop definitely needs a little bit more power in that kick. The mix needs a little bit of work as well. I think on the second drop, it makes more sense because the kick is harder. And then all the other elements. Oh, okay. Let me know when it's done. When it's done. Ugh. Harder and faster. Harder and faster. Ugh, for me, it's 30 seconds left. It's over. 'Tis over. Bum, 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 bum. Now I'm back. Okay. What was I? Where was I at? Yeah. For the last thing here is basically mixing stuff. I think the mix needs a little bit of work. I think the second drop makes more sense as far as mix wise, because the kick is bigger. So a lot of those melodic elements, the vocal, and the other synth that's kind of playing, it's more of like a background, which is exactly what you want. But I think in the first drop, since the kick is a little bit more subdued, a lot of your other elements kind of just feel like they're way in the back. Especially that vocal. It kind of feels like it's kind of like lost in the mix. So I think, yeah, it needs to kind of be pushed up a little bit more overall, that vocal. But yeah, definitely something to consider. Obviously this is a work in progress, so it doesn't really seem like you're in that kind of mixing stage yet. But yeah, it's something to consider when you end up getting to the mixing stage. I think as far as like the overall general idea is all there for this track. The arrangement is solid, but again, like I said, I think just make sure that you're on beat in some of these sections because it does fall off. And yeah, I think that's basically the main thing. I think overall it's a really solid idea. I really love this vocal. It's a really cool vocal. Dope. Really cool tune. Good job, Criminal Agent. All right, we got the man's Micah. We got Micah in the chat. Micah, Chrysler, Bona, My Production, I guess Value. Choli and Meowsenberg. I have crippling depression. A lot of people do. It's because of that damn phone, dog. I sound like a fucking parent. It's because of that phone. Burt Chrysler. Burnt crystals. All right, let's do it. Let's listen.
We all go a little mad at times. Sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad at times. Sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hell yeah, brother. Riz, so I don't do ratings here per se. Yeah, 10 out of 10. So I don't do ratings here per se. I give feedback. So if you have music that's unreleased and you want feedback on it, I would be happy to do that. But I do not give ratings on songs per se. It's not really what I do here. But yeah, anyways, Micah, dope tune here. 10 out of 10. Really nice low end. Where's my list? If you want to submit, here is the Google form. Bing bong, bing bong. Hold on. And I think the queue right now, we have like 6 tracks in the queue. So you'd be number 7. Really cool vocal. It sounds like it's an original, which is cool. Definitely adds to the overall vibe here. I think you could probably cut out a little bit more low end on that vocal. I feel like there's a little bit too much low end. Thanks, it's my voice. Yeah, dude, it's dope. I'm always happy when people tend to kind of go to that direction and use their own vocal on their tunes. Gay filter on the gay filter. Yeah, nice filtering on the clap. I noticed that in the intro, so it kind of give it a little bit more subdued kind of feel. Really nice sub. The sub is very, very big, which is really nice. Lots of like really cool, wonky sort of sound design and sound selection, which I really enjoyed. Very unique. The vocal could probably use a little bit more maybe some chorus and maybe a little bit of reverb. I think it could use a little bit of that just to give it a little bit more depth. Young Choli. Really cool drop. It's very wonky. That's the best way I could describe it. I think, but that, you know, I mean that in the best way possible. Definitely like a wonky kind of drop. Almost gives me like old Dirty Bird type of vibes. Maybe like a little bit of House of Hustle kind of vibe. Really cool though. I like the sound design. It feels like there's a little bit of a click in this little stutter vocal over here. There's a little bit of a click there. Something just to think about and to kind of clean up a little bit. Really digging the vibes there. Really cool kind of ear candy kind of sound and stuff. You have like this legato synth. Ding. I think we need a little bit more of an aggressive sidechain on that synth in particular, just to give it a little bit more of a pump. Boom, 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 boom. Super solid arrangement overall. I think. I think it has a really nice flow to it. Overall, I might consider chopping down this intro a little bit because the intro did feel a slight bit too long. But that's just something to kind of consider. It wouldn't need to be chopped down significantly. Maybe just 8 bars, just to kind of get into the swing of things a little bit quicker. And I do like where the subline is at as far as, you know, the level it's at. But I do think we could probably get a little bit more staccato with the notes in the drop section instead of making them a little bit more legato, because they kind of just like draw out. I feel like if you made them a little bit more staccato, I think that would add to the groove of the track a little bit more. Because right now, because you have that top line synth that's basically playing these long legato notes, but that underlying subline is also kind of a little bit too legato. So these notes are kind of being pulled out for like long regions. And I think if you have those subline being a little bit more staccato, bum 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 bum, instead of boom boom boom, I think that'll add to the groove a little bit more. Yeah, but overall, super dope idea. I think it's a really cool idea. Really cool, really good use of your own vocal. Definitely makes it a little bit more unique. Well done, Micah. Hell yeah, brother. All right. Let's keep things moving here. We got Chrysler, Bona, Balue, Choli, Meowsenberg. And we got one more submission. We got some hip hop and rap from Destroy Lonely. All right. Do we got Chrysler up in here? Chrysler just said something like a minute ago. Just make sure you're still here. Boom, 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 boom. Young Chrysler. Chrysler in the chat. Doop, 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 doop. All right. Let's do it.
The great new Chrysler.
It only hurts me when you play with my mind. Don't even see that you've been crossing the line. So far so good as long as you think it's fine. You crossing the line. It only hurts me when you play with my mind. Don't even see that you've been crossing the line. So far so good as long as you think it's fine. You crossing the line. It only hurts. You play with my mind, then you think it's fine. You crossing the line. You crossing the line. You crossing the line. Then you think it's fine. And if I could, I would read your mind. Take a breath and pretend you're mine. And if I could, I would read your mind. Take a breath and pretend you're mine. And if I could, I would read your could, I would read your mind. You crossing the line, you crossing the line, you crossing the line, 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 the line. Read your mind. Take a breath and then take a breath and then breathe.
Yeah, dude, really well done on that switch up at the end. Funny enough, when the intro started, I was actually expecting it to be more of like a kind of breakbeaty, kind of hip hoppy type of vibe, but it ended up being this like four on the floor thing, and I was like, whoa, like it really caught me off guard. I was like, oh, that's just sick, okay. But I was almost like during the intro, I was like entirely expecting it to be more of like the end of the track. And it's kind of cool that it ended up coming up at the end of the track. You caught me off guard twice. Really well done. Really nice keys. This is a really cool vocal tag you have in there. The Chrysler thing you got going on there, that's really cool. The vocal's very nice. I really love the vocal. The vocal basically makes this track. Really nice processing on the vocal as well. Really nice reverb and delay on the vocal. Adds like to this like really like spaciness. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't really expecting the four on the floor, but I think it's really cool. The kick and the sub both could come up in the mix more. I think as far as like your arrangement and like the way you're placing your sounds, I think everything is basically where it should be. I wouldn't change anything about that. I think like the arrangement is very solid. As far as like the phrasing and then the phrasing and like the sound selection, I think that's also great too. I wouldn't change anything about that. I think it's mostly just a mix. I think we need that kick needs to punch more, and then the sub needs to kind of be a little bit more boomy. I think all the other kind of like melodic elements work really well here, and I think they're at a pretty good level. A lot of those synths and stuff are at a pretty good level. What else? Yeah, really cool sound selection. We could definitely use some more transitional elements. I think that's primarily one of the big things that's kind of missing here. Risers, white noise, maybe even like snare rolls and stuff, little drum fills or something. I think primarily just kind of like to give us some semblance of transition from section to section. We could use some effects. I think that'll definitely help with the arrangement. The arrangement's already really good. But yeah, having transitional elements will definitely help with kind of like finessing and moving between sections. I really love the stutter on that second vocal, that second drop. I think it definitely adds to the variation and the change going on here. It's very well done. Really love that stutter vocal. And then lastly, that kind of like hip hop breakbeat thing you got going on at the end is fucking sick. But again, I think it needs to be transitioned into a little bit better, primarily. Yeah, I think the actual transition is not bad. Maybe just some like effects that kind of like lead into it. You know, a little bit of like a washout or something, or a white noise or something like that. Just something to kind of get us into it. And you can also tell, as far as if you look at this waveform here, the hip hop section is substantially thicker than the rest of the track. So you kind of want to get the rest of your mix to kind of match up with this right here, because you can just see how skinny the rest of this is over here. So you're gonna have to like play around with your mix and some of your elements and kind of get, you know, a little bit of dynamic, you know, matching. But yeah, super dope tune, Chrysler. You said you're relatively new at this, but you know, you're already on a really good path. I think it sounds great. Hell yeah, brother. Good job, Chrysler. Dope tune. Bum, 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 bum. Bona. Do we got Bona here? Alternative rock. All right, let's do it.
Ja, himmel og helvete på ett og samme sted. Englene går ned, djevel så latt de oss be. Ingen som nærmer seg de på til SDP. Dama de blir med i det, meldte 10 for T. Legenden lagt opp for sine mattuber som kake. Lyden varer helt til mars, og tilbake igjen våkna. Men ingen der skal hjem med det første. For Project Ledge, vi får alltid være tørste. Bakker det prosjektet, da bakker jeg de bitch. Så vi er på ekte, vi vil være med og dø. Kall som is, kaster cheese. Snakk med pris, så kan vi begynne å prate pris. Hun er ingen for trees, hun vil ha Project Keys. Chicks med SB madness, det er a real disease. Jeg føler for å spenne nå, jeg er keen på å glemme nå. Er du keen på fame, kan fortelle deg at tampen brenner nå. We ain't the same, Ulike Project er ikke hjemme nå. Det er bare games, for gutta, ja da må de få kjenne på.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that it was almost difficult to even not recognize that melody, you know. That strobe melody is very, very iconic. Anime intro vibes. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is sick. I think it's a really cool rendition of Strobe. The vocal is really cool. Obviously, I don't understand a damn thing that's being said, but it definitely fits the overall vibe. I think the vocal processing is really well done. I think the vocal delivery is really, really well done. It's definitely mixed well with the overall kind of rest of the elements that are going on here. It's at a really nice tempo. I tend to write my own music kind of speedy, between the range of like 130 and 140. I'm assuming this is a little bit faster, but I do like the tempo that this is at right now. Overall, I think the arrangement's very dope. It's really easy to follow, really nice to get into. 174, yeah, definitely faster. It's really easy to follow, really nice momentum. It definitely does a good job of keeping things moving forward. My two main pieces of feedback is it feels like the sub, obviously the sub is there, but I think the sub just needs to be boosted a little bit more. We need to get a little bit more low end in there. I think all the other elements are at a really good level, but except for the sub needs to be pushed up. So we get more low end, some more body feeling, you know, a little bit more rumble. And then secondly, you have like this really cool, it's almost like a bass house, almost like UK bass type of mid bass. Womp womp.
Please, så kommer vi nå og prater pris. Hun er ingen for treats. Hun vil ha kastet chip for de keen på bang. Kommer alle danser.
So that sound is fucking cool. I really love that sound. But I think it needs some more reverb to it, just to give it a little bit more space. Right now, it's a little bit too dry for me, especially for this section of the song. This break and build section, this break bridge sort of section. That one sound, that one mid bass sound in particular, is a little bit too dry. So I think it just needs a little bit more reverb to it, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth and space. And I think it'll sound even better. But right now it sounds dope. It's a really cool sound. Definitely fits this overall kind of drum and bass type of vibe you got going on here. But yeah, really cool idea. Very well done. Good job. Sick tune. All right. We got Balyu. We got Balyu in the chat. Balyu, Choli, Mjausenberg, Destroy Lonely, and Misguided. Balyu, are you in the chat? Just say what up. Say yo. Say what's happening. Yeah, you were originally at the very beginning, but since you weren't here, I had to throw you in the back of the line. Unfortunately. Sorry, Misguided. All right, looks like Balyu's not here, so he's going to the back of the line. So that puts Choli up first. Choli, Mjausenberg, Destroy Lonely, and then Misguided. Let's do it.
Drastic. If you diss, it gets you gotta make moves. Never ever ever mistake moves. Come on, you gotta make moves. Never ever ever mistake moves. Come on, you gotta make moves. Never ever ever mistake moves. Come on, you gotta make moves. Never ever ever mistake moves. Come on.
Nice one, bruv. Really dope idea. Obviously this is a work in progress. We're just getting the intro, the break build, and the first drop. But yeah, it definitely has that Choli signature sound. I can definitely hear, you know, your kind of touch on this tune. The kick is humongous, but it's not like out of character. It feels like it's supposed to be you know, about that big in this tune. I would have liked to have some sub in the intro. Obviously we get the sub in the drop, but having even just a little bit of sub here, I think would have added a little bit to the impact, and kind of just like the overall evolution and build of the track. Really nice string. It's very subtle, but you can hear it in the background. It's very nice. The vocal, shit. When it's done. Do 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 do. Bop 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 bop. It's done. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, I think having a sub in the intro would add more impact. You can just put it in this section over here and then remove it again in the break build and then bring your sub back into the drop. I think having a sub there would be nice. Really nice string, really cool vocal. I really dig the vocal here. Overall, really well done with the break and build. Really nice energy there. The drop is also very fat. Definitely feels like a Choli tune. Love the groove and the sound design, and also some really nice ear candy. I really liking the direction this is already heading. Yeah, obviously when you kind of draw out the rest of this arrangement, you're gonna want to get a little bit more kind of moody in the second break, and then make the second drop a little bit more dramatic and over the top. But I think so far this is a really strong foundation. You're definitely heading in a really nice direction. But yeah, I definitely want to hear sub in the intro section, just like this part right here, when the vocal starts popping in. Yeah, dope idea. Good job, Choli. Thick Daddy. All right. Let's keep moving forward. Oh yeah, also I'm gonna have a flyer for you soon, probably by tomorrow. So just, yeah, keep an eye out for that. All right, Meowsenberg. We got Meowsenberg here. I'm pretty sure Meowsenberg's still here. Yeah, Meowsenberg's in the chat. All right, let's listen to this tune.
What they say, man, they can't hang. They can't. Fuck what they say, man, they can't hang. They can't. What they say, man, they can't hang. They can't fuck what they say can. They can't.
Nice one, bruv. Good job, Mjausenberg. The mix is super clean on this tune overall, and I think you did a good job with the sound selection. That's basically like most of the battle is like if you pick like really like solid sounds, it makes your mix down that much easier to kind of work with. So yeah, nothing like super complicated here, but I think that definitely works to your benefit. You know, having like a pretty simple idea, it's a lot easier to kind of play around with. Really nice intro, loving the subline, really solid groove here, really nice drums, really cool vocal. This almost reminds me of the homie Frivolous Jackson. I don't know if you've ever heard of Frivolous Jackson, but Chicago house artist. He definitely kind of has this kind of similar kind of sound, kind of like more along the lines of like Jack and House, almost kind of like borderline like bass house ish, but it's really cool. I really fuck with it. It's a lot of like really nice groove. Overall, super solid arrangement. I mean, maybe you could kind of get a little bit more dramatic with the second break, because the second break felt a little bit short. Overall, this is a very short tune, 2 minutes 30. But yeah, I think the second break could probably be a little bit longer. If I was going to do anything to the arrangement, that's probably the only thing I would probably update or change. I think the drops are dope, primarily because of the groove. Although, I will say that the first drop feels a touch anticlimactic. And I think the second drop does a much better job at kind of building on the energy from the build. So what I'm getting at, I think it's primarily only because the second drop has that lead in it, is the only reason why it has so much more energy. The first drop feels a little bit empty, I think. Just a smidge.
They say, fuck what they say, man, they can't hang. They can't fuck what they say can.
Yeah, I think it's just there's much more energy in the second drop than there is in the second drop, or the first drop, sorry. So the first drop falls a little bit flat. I just think it needs some sort of other kind of melodic element to kind of keep things going. Kind of like what you did with the second drop. I wouldn't, you don't have to do like a whole copy pasta sort of thing, but having something kind of similar in that same vein would definitely kind of help out. I think that would do really well. But other than that, I think the drop itself is really solid. It has a really strong foundation, really solid groove. The vocal is really dope, and you do a good job of kind of bringing that vocal back in, doing like little callbacks, keeping it as like the hook. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's a really solid tune overall, though. Maybe just a smidge longer on that second break, and yeah, probably just a little bit more energy in that first drop. But overall, super dope tune. Really nice groove. Hell yeah, Mjausenberg. Dude, this picture cracks me up, man. This is fucking... this picture's fucking cool. All right, Destroy Lonely. This is already a released tune, though. So I can't give feedback on this, unfortunately. If you have an unreleased track, you can submit that, but I can't give feedback. Your brother drew that? That's sick. All right, that puts Misguided right at the front. All right, let's give this tune a listen. Nice one, bruv. Yeah, it definitely feels like liquid drum and bass, I will say. But yeah, definitely a nice way to end the stream, I think. Usually I start the stream with some liquid drum and bass mixes from YouTube's. And this is a nice way to kind of like sandwich everything. Yeah, this is a really dope tune overall. Really nice filtering on the intro. Did a really good job of kind of introducing the elements here. Really nice arpeggio, really nice strings. I think overall just really, really nice sound selection. I wrote here almost feels like liquid drum and bass, but it actually is liquid drum and bass. Really dope vocal. I think this vocal is really, it basically makes the track. And it has so many like verses that it doesn't get boring in the least bit. I think the arrangement's super solid. When I first saw that it was 7 minutes, I was like, oh man, it's gonna get kind of like boring and loopy. But I will say, like, not for a single like minute did this track get boring. I think it definitely is this length for a good reason. And I think you do a good job of kind of, you know, switching things up and, you know, make like really nice transitions, really nice variations. So like it doesn't get boring in the least bit. Sub is very nice. I think overall the mix is very clean. The snare is exactly where you want it to be. Really punchy. The only thing that I probably would fix in this tune is that the kick needs to kind of punch more through. It's kind of getting overpowered by the sub. So I think the kick just needs a little bit more, probably more saturation and a little bit more of a side chain to cut through that sub. But that's really the only thing I would change in this tune. I think everything else is really great. Really good job of layering elements, adding in new elements, taking them out. Yeah, super solid tune. I think this is basically almost done. All you gotta do, I think, like I said, all you gotta do is kind of just a stronger kick, make it punch more. I mean, the kick itself, I think, is a nice sample. So basically, just needs more saturation and kind of just punch through a little bit more. That's really it. Yeah, very fucking dope tune. Good job, Misguided. All right. With that, that's the last one of the night. I'm gonna call it quits and work on a couple of things before I go to bed. Thank you guys for submitting tunes. Thanks for joining the stream. If you haven't yet, go check out my latest release, Bubblegum, out on Thick Freakness. And then we have another single coming out from the man's Foxed in 2 weeks. That's on the 24th. And then we have two shows for Thick Freakness next year in downtown LA, or next month in February. One at the beginning of the month, one at the end of the month. I'll make those announcements here shortly, so just keep an eye on the socials. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you back here next Monday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Peace.